a food hall. Got images so here, but some of them closed.
It's German lager, just lager.
Set it in the house. It's not easy, not often to get this free thing from a complete random stranger. Thank you very much for this. Hey guys, you got it right there. It is a church, former an Anglican church, over 200 years old, that has been converted into a food hall, as well as a wine bar, beer bar. Can you imagine if Jesus was around? Jesus would be very, very upset, and he would vandalize those food court, those wine bar, and which was portrayed in one of the film, where Jesus was so upset, and he told everyone, this is a place to worship, not a place to make money. Just watch this short video. Don't worry, guys, don't worry. This building, this church, is no longer a church. And the church has been deconsecrated in 1974, which means it's no longer a sacred place for worship, but it has become a secular public place. A brief history: the church was built in 1825, named as St.Mark. Was an Anglican church. The reason was due to the shortage of church in the Mayfair area at the time, and the architecture style of it is based on the Greek architecture style, or known as the Greek Revival architecture, which you can see on the facade, the obvious facade, the Ionic columns. This is easy to can see the Greek architecture style, or because it was built in the 1800s, you can say the neo-classical architecture. And now, moving forward, during the Second World War, the church was used by many Americans worshippers at the time, because due to the American proxy of the American embassy, and therefore it was known informally, became the American church. 1958, the building was listed as Grade 1, included in the National Heritage, English Heritage. Since it was deconsecrated in 1974, it was remained empty for a while. Then in 2014 was acquired by Grosvenor Estate. In 2019, it was opened to public as a food hall, which has numbers of variation of food vendors: Indian food, English food, French, Malaysian food even, Italians, and you get a cocktail bar. And if you go to the crypt in the basement, which the substructure, the support, the main space, congregation place, where we has the brick vaulted structure, the cellar, the crypt, it has also sushi bar, wine bar, and German craft beer. I visited that, and I was offered free in-house lager, German craft beer. The point is this: whilst many pious or religious person or religious people consider this as is a sin to convert the house of God, the church, into a food hall or a place to sell alcohol, beverages, to make money, to turn into a market, is considered sins in a religious context. But we have to take into consideration, one, of course, this house is no longer a religious building. It's been consecrated in 1974, number one. And the second thing, it has been empty for many years and is considered a listed building, which means it's a building considered at risk. To keep this building going, to be part of the National English Heritage, to preserve it for the future generation, this building must have some sort of income, money, to maintain its existence, to sustain its existence. And therefore, we have to understand that this building must reinvent itself to sustain itself. Without further ado, let's explore the church that is now a food hall in Mayfair. And because please click the subscribe button to support and like and share. It is a bit cold this morning in the street of London. It's a Mayfair Street here, next to Claridge's. A lot of red brick building here. Right, I think I'm almost here. This is the Mercato Mayfair. Used to be known as the St.Mark's Anglican Church. Look at the Ionic columns. This is how to understand the Greek revival architecture with these columns, or known as the neoclassical architecture. Look at this Ionic column detail. Majestic, isn't it? Look at that. Ionic columns, original structure of this church. Squeeze in between other buildings like sandwich. Like, even the door, look at the door, still the same original features, timber doors. And this is the flower shops. Look at that lady eating her food, enjoying her food. Right, this is the go inside. This is now has become a food hall, the place for worshipping. Once upon a time, look at the ceiling, still there. Look at this. Instead of worshipping, people are eating. This is total scenes, isn't it? Look at this. And the altar. This is the altar. The original features are still there. The biblical images. Look at those glass. Now is a bar. Cocktail bar, lager. This is where people do the confession. There's they put another floor there as well. Because it is a grade 1 listed building, and everything must be protected, preserved, cannot be taken away, so all these original features remain intact, but just different purpose of it. This is another little chamber, another small place for worship, praying, and then become a wine bar. Look at this. The ambience as it is look really inviting, really. Look at this alabaster marble. I believe this is alabaster. This is where the priest stood up to do the sermon during the praying time. Look at that. Still, this is made of alabaster. Yeah, this alabaster. It is a beautiful church, but just for different purpose. This is the food court. This is the ground floor. Look at that. It's always busy with food hunters. People coming here to eat during the particular Sunday or weekend. Let's see, this is as it is, but you can't climb on top of this now. It is forbidden to change. And look at this glass, the window glass, colorful one. Everything as it is cannot be removed. Look at archangels here. Behind this archangel, you see this wine bars. Look at that. Variation type of wines, alcohol, customers, and also it has food court, vendors, pizza. One of them, one of the trading partners here, the Italian pizza, and I think I'm going upstairs. This is the first floor. It's become a food court also. In here, there has more food vendors also here, but some of them close today. So these are the views from. Wow! Can you believe this church has become a food court in London? Unbelievable. Look at this, the view right to the altar, and the structure, the arches structure, resting on those columns, still as it is. And this is the fish and chips, lobster grill. Look at this, fresh seafood, so inviting. And steak, sirloin, this is a Western food. Lamb chop, this is English food. Burger, and of course we have this. I think this is some of the Indian food in here. The Bidas Italy. And right at the end of this, you can see the views right below. Look at the views down there, and look at these windows as well. All this detail of this biblical narrative illustration remain intact, and even the arches and structure, these are Romanesque or neoclassical engineering structure. So on the option of food here, you have Indian, you have English, you have Spanish, you have Italian, all sorts of choices. You have Thai food in there. So all these original features remain intact as it is. All the thing I did is to maintain it. A bit of reinforcement, but he didn't. Like those glass balcony. Look at these people. Complete gems. Imagine it. Now I am going higher to the top. This is area where used to be having organs, and this is heading to the roof terrace. And again, this is where the facade, the front facade, and we're looking right into the altar to the main congregation rooms. Oh, and waiting to go upstairs because this is I'm climbing up to the roof terrace, looking at the place where people would gather during the summer. Look at this, empty at the moment because the weather is not great. So this is the bell tower. So this is the bell. Call for the time for praying back in the days. The bell tower is made of a hamstone, I believe, surrounded by other buildings. Look at the hamstone as it is, brick. The bell structure is still intact as it is, but it's no longer functioning to call for prayer. In the evening, it would be beautiful because the light will be on, the ambient will change. But look at this buildings around, all red bricks, right surround this tower. And this flat roof for lead to stop the water leakage. I am contemplating, try to look back how it was when it was a church. Well, I think I'm going down. I think there's another space right at the bottom, the crypt. This is the stairs to get to the roof to ring the bell. Time to pray about to start. There are more trade partners in the crypt under the food hall. And fascinating, this place is made. The structure itself is fascinating. Made of entirely is masonry, a brick structure using the old method of these arches, pendentive structure. Look at that. And bearing in mind this is the grade 1 listed building. And look at this hamstone, a lintel, enormous lintel resting on this column to hold this threshold on the threshold to get the access to get into the main crypt. This brick is the original brick, and some of them have been maintained and been replaced to match the existing, as it is a national heritage or a cultural heritage building. And look at this, they have many bars in here. Wine bar, different traders. They got sushi bar as well. Look at this structure, it's just beautiful. Look at it. Look at this. In great detail how this masonry was done. Nothing changed, remain as it is. The policy is to remain as it is. The Grosvenor Real Estate took this building and give it a new reason, new purpose. I would call this is a urban retreat. You can tuck in, hiding away from the city in this peaceful, calm place for relaxing. And this is the craft German beer, artisan craft German beer. Look at this. Isn't it relaxing? I don't mind bringing my friends here, gathering, relaxing. And look at this detail of these bricks. I am fascinated by this structure, the main space. I tried IPA before.
Which is very popular.
Hazy.
This was our first.
Right.
So this is the standard Heller's German lager. Just lager.
Yeah, I would say this is like the most tangiest like pot.
It's actually a technical term called chocolate malt, and basically all it is, it's not chocolate, it's just when they make it in terms of... Paul from our friend and Thomas.
I prefer the IPA one. Thank you. I got this IPA. I'm going to get this IPA, and this gentleman very kindly set it in the house. It's not easy, not often to get this free thing from a complete random stranger. Thank you very much for this.
Well, cheers. Hope you enjoy it.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Very welcome.
Wow, this is definitely recommended. What's your name? Ian. Ian, nice to meet you, Ian. Thank you very much. This is Ian.
Yes.
One of the guy in charge of this. Thank you.
Here, so it's unfiltered, official brew practice, it's all there.
Yeah.
Let's just start all there.
I drank that beer just now. This quite a strong one, IPA. What for 5.8? Only 1 pint. It was in the house. This very kind solicitor, a lawyer for the craft German beer. He kindly offered me a pint of beer for free in the house. I didn't expect that at all. And he kind of explained to me about the beer and about this building, the historical narrative of this listed church or building. It was interesting. Right, I was told that this building, certain kind of, because it's a listed building, is so strict. Even anything that you put on the wall, it must be in the mortar only. Cannot be on the brick. Look at that. There's a crime. You see another one there has to be in the mortar only. Anything that we added on the wall has to be in the mortar, like another one here. Cannot be on the bricks because they are protected. Part of the national heritage. Another one here. This is the thing. People pay much attention into details. Look at this bar. So anything that I added here, it has to be. Look at that. This air conditioning. Right. In between the bricks. Cannot be on the bricks. Anything that on the brick is a crime. It's legal. Look at this. Again. Small matter. This is crime. Look at that. Grosvenor must not take that notice. This is not right. Oh dear. Look at that. It's so much detail here. See? This ancient engineering structure